Shut it down!
I think that, I agree that transgender people should be treated fairly and equally like me and you. But when it comes to actually entering women's locker rooms or toilets or anything like that, I disagree with it. I feel like it's a moral more for me rather than an opinion. It's a moral, and at the end of the day, it is the way it is. Women have rights, and it's women's rights, not men dressed as women who feel like women. It's not for them. And if they want their own toilet, get a transgender toilet. If they want a transgender toilet, create that. Do you understand what I mean? Don't put pressure on another gender to fix to your gender. And that's how I feel.
What about the aspect of the children?
Well, the child thing is just ridiculous, I mean, I think any child under 16 can't even make a decision. I think they can think that, but until they're 16 and they're old enough to have that mentality, that's when it should be a choice.
There are even studies that show, as an adult, our brains don't stop developing until we're 25.
Well, yeah, so you're older, you know what I mean? They was teaching my child 72 genders at school, and I thought it was ridiculous. She came home and told me there's 72 genders. I said, there's two, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And it didn't go like that, the conversation, because she's being taught something else at school, saying there can be a fucking... Sorry for swearing. You can be a non-living object and stuff. It's just getting ridiculous now. So when they force it on people, the transgender community, because that's how I felt recently. I had an opinion that I agreed with the court case, but obviously I believe that transgender people should be treated normally like me and you. But I don't agree with certain things, and they was trying to push their ideology on me, and I didn't like it, and it weren't just the transgender community, it was the people around the transgender community who I feel like a lot of them have been forced to be like that, because otherwise it's going to be a hassle, it's going to be too much of an earache.
Where do you think that force comes from?
I don't know, I think it's to split the movement within, do you know what I mean? So they're all arguing amongst each other rather than actually standing together and saying, wait a minute, the government are the problem, because that is the problem. And I say that to when I speak to the other side, I say to them, we should all be standing together against the problem. The problem is the government. A few years back, we didn't have illegal immigrants coming on boats, so what the fuck's changed? What has changed? Well, maybe it's that they've stopped safe passages from certain countries, and then Brexit, and then all these people have to sneak here now. So just make it, a safe passage and get back into the EU. I think it should be a part of the EU.
Do you think? That it's not just in the UK, because everyone coming over, they're men.
Yeah.
They pass through other countries.
Yeah.
It's
not just men, it's men and children and women.
It's mainly...
It's mainly men, but is that because they can get out of there and because they're more easy and accessible for them? And if you had a chance to come from somewhere like Sudan where you're watching complete murder and chaos, would you come to the UK? Of course you would if someone told you that. And the UK is English language, and a lot of people speak English as a second language, or, you know what I mean, as an actual language that they can understand. So I actually think, to blame the people that are on our level is ridiculous. If anyone is given a chance for a safer life, that is what they will do, right? But it's about us standing together against the leaders of the world and saying, wait a minute, 10% of the fucking world, these rich people are getting more money than they'll ever need, while we all suffer at the bottom. And that is not about it, it's about us all coming together, about us all having one common goal. Who is the problem? The government.
So you're here today against the...
Yeah, I am, because I'm not down with that. Do you know what I mean? They're walking around, massive deportations, sort your life out. I'd rather deport you, do you know, because at the end of the day, why are you trying to cause hate and division amongst us? We should be standing together against the problem, which is the leaders of the world and the government in our own country. We've got kids starving the kids, starving the pensioners, literally starving disabled people, and don't actually care. So I think... it's about time people got a brain, stop turning against each other and arguing amongst ourselves, because they're laughing at us.
So do you think all this is a part of it? Because
I think it's just silly.
That protest is against the state cover-up of the
It's not just about that. They've got UKIP and that there, and I'm not being funny, right? But in August, I came up here. We did no counter demo. I came up here to try and get some common ground.
Yes.
I seen people laughing at black English people and Asian people that were English, and I'm thinking, what is going on here? And then literally they tried to bully some guy and smack him in his face, And I had to step in. There's actually a video of me on YouTube arguing with 200 guys, like literally on my own, because I will not go back to the day where it was racist and you just feel uncomfortable all the time in certain situations, or it depending where you are. Hate should not be amongst our streets. We've gone past that. We all stand united against the problem, and we want the other side to see that, and I believe that they don't. They're too busy blaming each other when actually we should be inclusive and welcome each other and say we should stand together actually against the problem.
So what is the problem?
The problem's the government, and the leaders of the world. Yeah, because it's not just our country, it's countries like America. Look at their homeless crisis, look at all their homeless people in the streets. No one's got fuck all around the country, right, all around the world. Look at the other side of the world. Look at all the countries that are starving, the children that are starving. It's not right, and it's very evil people in power right now, and it's about time the people stood up and said no. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.